Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here with me today. I have a fun DIY to share with you, and I hope you really like it. So without further ado, let's get started. I am going to start with this little pumpkin that I found at Walmart. It's cute as it is, but I am going to dress it up just a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some sisal down, I think is how you say it. So I just pulled some off, crunched it up just a little bit, and I'm just going to tack it down with my Beacon Fabri-Tac glue, which is what I used throughout this whole project. Just make sure that it's pushed on there kind of good. And then I do not end up using any of the flowers on this. I just end up using a couple of the leaves, and then that little orange thing that I just pulled off, I used 2 of those. So I just got some of the leaves. I cut them apart the way that I want them, and I am just going to glue those down right on top of the sisal. I do end up kind of moving them over just a little bit here in just a second, but you'll see that. So I'm going to use some of this lace ribbon that I'm pretty sure that I got from Temu. I was thinking about tying it in and decided not to. So I'm just going to move my leaves kind of crooked, and then I am just going to tack the middle of that ribbon down over the leaves just to add some pretty in there. It's a very pretty ribbon, lace ribbon, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to just take some leftover bits and pieces of ribbon that I have, and I am going to cut them to the length that I want, and then I'm going to tie a knot in them and just glue that knot right down in the center of the lace ribbon. Maybe eventually I want you guys to see everything instead of skipping over stuff, I guess. So here I go. I'm going to tack that down. And then I have some pip berries that I'm going to use. And I kind of wish I would have cut these apart now looking at this. But I didn't. I left them whole, and I just trimmed off the stem a little bit. But it still ends up pretty. They're just white pip berries with a few that are blue, and it turns out really pretty. I really like them. And so I'm just going to glue those on each side for a second. I end up pulling them up to put something else on, but you'll see that in a moment. So then I'm going to use some rusted wire, and I don't measure anything. I just eyeball it all. So I just cut off a piece that I thought was good, and then I'm going to kind of bend it in the middle and twist each side along my paintbrush so that I can make some curlicues to go on each side of the pumpkin stem. So I just use a little bit of the Fabri-Tac glue and stick that down in there, kind of up against the stem, but between those pip berries that I put in that I'll take off here in just a moment. One side ended up having a star and the other side didn't. It ends up falling off, so we're good. And I found these little, I don't know what you want to call them, miniature witches brooms. But I am just going to take them apart. And I'm going to use a couple of the, we'll call them branches, and put in here just for some little extra texture. So I lay it down on top first. And I decide that no, I don't like that because it's covering my pit berries and I didn't want that. So I take those off and then take the pit berries off and put it down first. And there's where the little star fell off. So I was saved. I didn't have to worry about one side having a star and the other didn't. Put a little bit more glue down and put those down. And then I'm going to put the ribbons back on top of those. And then I will re-glue the pit berries back on each side. This turns out really, really cute. I took it to work and put it on my desk. I needed a pumpkin for my desk. And this is the last of this ribbon that I have left. I'm not quite sure where I got this from. I think I got it from Amazon in a big bunch of ribbon that I bought. So I am just going to do a really simple bow and tie a piece of twine around it to hold it. And then I'll make sure, I'm going to hold it up, make sure that I do like it against the pumpkin, and make sure my little bow ears are somewhat even there. And then finish tying the knot. I'm going to cut off the excess. And then I'm just going to glue that right down on top of the pieces of ribbon that I have tied in a knot. I'm trying to think here. I've had a headache for 2 days now. So I was going to tie just a little shoestring bow, but it just wasn't enough for me. So I ended up wrapping it around my fingers 4 times and making like a 4-loop bow, and got my scrap out of the trash can so I could use it. Don't throw scraps away. Keep them. So I just tied that around to secure it, and then I kind of fluff it up just a little bit and cut off the excess. And then I'm going to use a rusty bell again with the rusty little bulb pin, and I'm going to pin that right to the center of the twine bow. And then I'm going to glue that right in the center of the cream color bow on top. See, isn't it cute? I love twine. I know I say it every time. I probably shouldn't need to, but it's okay. So here's the little orange things that I got out of the bunch of flowers. I thought it went really well with this, kind of added a little color in there. So I'm just going to stick one on each side of the bows. I haven't been brave enough to make my own pumpkins yet, but I want to, but I'm kind of nervous too because I'm not a very good sewer, so I'm learning. And then my leaf didn't want to lay down like I wanted it to, so I just took my heat gun and heated it up to get it to lay down. You just have to be careful, don't melt it or worse, catch it on fire. Then I'm going to take this little apple slice. I got it in some pulpery, and I was going to stick it back behind here, but then decided that no, I'm going to stick it in the front, up underneath. I wish that I had actually laid the apple slice down first and then put my bows on top of it, but hindsight's always 20/20. And then I'm just going to take a couple pumpkins and I'm going to put those in. I know they're not called pumpkins, but I can never remember what they're called. And then some little mini pine cones, and I'm just going to stick those in. Moving my bell here because it wasn't laying the way I wanted it to. And then I have some little berries that I'd cut off that ring if you watched my last video that I was going to use but didn't. So I ended up using a couple to slide down here on the pumpkin. So one more little pine cone. I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of those pine cones. I love them. Find them on Amazon, I suppose so. And that apple slice actually feels like it's a real piece of apple, which it very well could be. I don't know. It smells good. And here's the little berries. I'm just sticking those in a couple places. Add some more color and then I'm just going to move my pip berries so they stick up like I want them to. Oh, gotta stick one more berry in there. Actually, off camera I do, if I remember right, I put one more berry on the top, right back behind the bows. And then I'm just going to trim off my ribbons to the length that I want. And then I'll take the Fabri-Tac glue and I will kind of crinkle my bows a little bit on each side. And I just put, you know, a little dab of glue. Almost cut my bow the wrong way. I mean, I guess there's really not a wrong way. I just wasn't going to cut it the way I intended to. How about that? And then I'm just going to tack down the tails of the twine bow as well, so they stay in front of the pumpkin like I want them to as well. See how I almost cut that side backwards too. And then I frayed the end of this side, forgot to do it on the other side, so I went back to do that. Make it a little tattered and worn. Got a little too much glue on that dot, but it's okay. Nobody will notice with it sitting on my desk. So I'll take this moment. I just want to thank you guys for being here. If you enjoyed the content that I am putting out, please hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell and then hit all so you don't miss any future videos from me. And also don't forget to hit like and comment. Tell me what you think, what you would do different. I love hearing other people's ideas. I think that's how we learn. We learn from each other. So, so here it is, all finished. Like I said, I put it on my desk. So I hope you enjoyed this today. And sorry about my little shadow of my camera there on it, trying to show you guys all of the texture in there. So I hope you can still see pretty well. But again, thank you for being here, and till next time, have a great week. Bye.